I'm here with Dr. Basmah Omair, who is a leading advocate for women's role in Saudi society and improving business relationships and so on. There's a lot talked here in Saudi Arabia about this Project 2030, a modernizing process. But how real is that, and how quickly is it being undergone?
Thank you for this interview. Right now, actually, 2030 is being realized, especially when it comes to women's empowerment. We see more women taking part in the workforce. We also see more women in leadership positions in the government. We have a deputy of the SME Council. We also have Princess Rima, who's deputy of the General Sports Authority. So we're seeing more women take leadership positions in the government, as well as we also have women now. We have a female CEO of Samba Capital, which is one of the biggest banks we have here in Saudi, and a chairwoman for the Saudi stock market. So definitely you see it on the ground. It's not just talk, and it's not just a vision on paper. It's actually being materialized, and we're only the first year in action. So you could just imagine by 2030 how hopeful we are that women will take even a bigger role, and we're optimistic that we're actually going to go beyond the 30% mark set in the 2030 vision of having participation of females in the workforce.
Are they going to have to, though, release some of the restrictions on women's movements, being having to seek permission from husband or family members, that kind of stuff, which certainly in the West seems medieval?
It's already been taken into action since 2008. For example, it used to that women needed male guardianship to open a business license. So to get a license, that has been removed. It's been removed from healthcare, from labor markets, and from education a long time ago. And recently there has been a regulation passed from the Royal Court stating that women should not be asked for male guardianship, and any remaining laws that are still in place that require that needs to be sent back to the Royal Court for studying it further to see what can be done about it and why it's in place. So definitely it's on the table, and it's being discussed on the highest level of the government. Now what happens is sometimes in most countries, and definitely here, that you have a regulation that is passed, but when it comes to implementation on the ground, there's a shift. And so people sometimes, they're individuals at the end of the day that are working in the windows meeting the citizens. And so their own perception that, no, it's always been asked, this is how we do business, and he didn't hear about the regulation being changed. So sometimes in the private sector, what happens is the law does not require women to get male guardianship approval to get a job. However, the HR personnel in a company just wants to feel like they've done all their jobs and they've crossed all the T's and all the I's, and nothing can come to harm the company, and no male guardian can come and say, why did you employ? And so he would request it, but it's actually not a law. It's just something that got embedded.
So really what we're seeing here is certainly from the Saudi women's perspective, leading figures, there is change being undergone in Saudi Arabia, but there is both legislative change and then cultural change, and the latter may take a bit longer to change and evolve.
Sam, many thanks. A top horse racing trainer is